Do I look stupid?
A little bit.
Thank you. Testing. How does this look, dude? Be honest with me, dude. It's hanging out, isn't it?
No, but it's fine. It's supposed to do that.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
Welcome back to 98 Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about why classics are better than modern cars. I'm going to break it down, do a little bit of a comparison. Now, by no means is this a super accurate, detailed representation of the type of aluminum they use in the blocks from 1970 to 2020. This is kind of just my overall opinion. It's just a passion that we have, and Ryan's on the camera as well. We're outside because it's very nice weather for December. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. So Ryan, just before we get going here, just film that nice sunset for the viewers. Lovely. All right, so we're gonna go sit down at the catacomb, or whatever that's called. We took the Ford F-150 today. Reliable V6, and just having some fun. There's some dogs here, so that's nice. But we're not here to talk about dogs. We're here to talk about big blocks. We were slinging up some dirt with the all-terrains on the Ford, slinging up some dirt. That's pretty fun. Anyhow, let's go have a seat, talk about what's going on. So the thing is that when we're actually dissecting modern versus classic, this is not meant to be formal. This isn't a school project. This is kind of just something we do for fun, as most of you may know. So let's just get right into the meat and potatoes. Where's your phone, Ryan?
Okay, hold on.
Okay, no worries.
No,
No. Cheers. There's many aspects of classic cars that modern cars don't have. And there's many aspects from modern cars that classic doesn't have. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be telling you why the classic aspects, options, controls, feelings, build quality, all that, why classic cars are better than modern cars. Plain and simple. So let's go have a seat. So the thing is that there's aspects that modern cars have that classic cars don't. Let's talk about the number one point that I kind of want to bring up with you guys, and that is simplicity. What do I mean by when I say simplicity? I mean body lines, structural build, frames, unibody, frame on body, the differences, the look, square bodies, bullnose Fords. Everything is just so simple. Lines, solid, simple to understand. Interior, velour, bench seats, no bench seats. Very simple, bucket, bench, done. When you're comparing a modern car, you look at like a Honda Civic, for example. There are really no options when you buy any sort of average car, like a Honda Civic, Ford Taurus, any of those cars. Like, those are good cars. Don't get me wrong, they're reliable to today's standards, I guess, in my opinion, anyhow. Like, if you disagree with me, by the way, guys, please, let's have an argument in the comments. Definitely. So, simplicity, body lines, easy to identify and unique. You look at a 64 Impala, screams 64 Impala with the tail lights, those circular quad headlights, just everything's amazing, right? Hard top, soft top, or not even the 64 Impala, but any other car, our old's 98, vinyl top, colors. Every single car you see nowadays, the colors are just so like neutral, dark blue, light blue, blue, ocean blue, this blue, that blue, 42 blue. I don't know what's going on. But whatever happened to, when Mopar had those 23 color options when they came out with the Challenger. And, the options were amazing. Go Mango, Plum Crazy, Lime Green, all these amazing colors that we just, a Hemi Orange, classics, black, white, red, blue. They didn't need 17 blues. I mean, they even had pink. But then I believe apparently there was a conversation that when the guys upstairs at Chrysler Corporation found out that they were making a pink car, they said, we're not going to do that. We're going to cancel that. But Cadillac did. So I don't know. Personally, I think pink cars are cool. But anyhow, moving on from the colors, the tires, thicker sidewalls, smoother rides. When they say floats like a boat, I mean, you're damaging your suspension, your front end, just by hitting a simple little pothole on any car these days. We have 15-inch tires with just this much sidewall, white wall, sidewall, whatever, just a thick amount of rubber. We're just floating around like it's a joke. Paired with that really nice, soft suspension, it's just a really great ride. And then compared to like any other kind of modern day car, you're just breaking your back on these things, And, bucket seats to nice and comfort you. Yeah, The velour, it's just better. It speaks for itself. Anyways, another design I wanted to talk about, kind of like the hideaway options. So what I mean by that is, obviously now you guys are thinking of hideaway headlights. The hideaway headlights were amazing because, it's the idea that they didn't want anything ruining the body lines. My personal favorite hideaway headlights would have to be from the Mercury Grand Marquis Brougham, or just Mercury Grand Marquis in general. The 72, I really like those. I just like the lines. It's seamless, in, out, done. They were powered by vacuum. So there's no electronics to really fail. Back in the day, like, they lasted. They're okay, vacuum leaks, this, that, and, people would fix them. So that's another thing. And, the hideaway gas tanks. I don't know if that's actually in the name, but that's what I call them. The gas caps that don't damage the body line. They're under the license plate, or the Lincolns behind the lights, or was it the Cadillacs? I don't know. That, in my opinion, is amazing. Just the respect to the look of the car was definitely more present from the 40s all the way to the late 80s, honestly. So I love it. So let's move on to the next topic now, anyhow. But I want to get into more of the mechanical aspect of things, and I guess the build quality as well. So we'll also cover that. What I've noticed is that, electronics, and I think every mechanic that works on classic cars and then just takes a look at an engine bay of a new car kind of gets that feeling of, like, you feel like you just want to puke. You feel like, wow, where do I even begin? Which stupid, coil do I unplug? Which piece of plastic do I rip out and manhandle to even begin this? And then, how many thousands of photos do I take to remember where everything goes? Who knows? Classic cars, on the other hand, now we have an 84 Olds 98. People argued the 80s, they had lots of technology. They definitely did. Electric choke on the carbs, this, that, they did. But even then, even so, there's still so much room to work on. Like, we just did spark plugs, and we just did distributor, and we did all that stuff. It was effortless. I mean, I got my hands in there, no problem, right? We did valve seal gaskets, and everything was just good. It was a smooth process, Took out one bracket for the alternator, popped out the valve cover, done. Replaced it. If you're a DIY, where you just want to do things yourself, you want to save money, you want to look cool, you fool around with classic. I mean, you can even daily drive it. So, like, me and Ryan were just discussing earlier today, actually, how, let's just take a 64 Impala, for example, because this is the car that keeps coming to mind. And we look at a 2020 Impala, and we pop up the engine bays next side by side. I mean, and you just go ahead and tell me which head gasket you'd rather replace. Or, not that you should have to replace a head gasket, or just, even a timing chain. A push rod V8 from 64 compared to some disaster 2.7 EcoBoost from today. Your hands are nice, easy to work on. They're not full of plastic and just wires and things that you don't even know. And, you take out the battery, the check engine light comes on a new car. This is just, they really made it so people can do things themselves. You don't have to go to the dealership and spend $300 for this and that, because only Mercedes has that code and all this stuff. And, for computers, it's just not necessary. So even on our 80s Olds, yeah, we have power windows, we have all this stuff. And there are some electronics, but even then, it's just so seamless. And those electronics do make it more comfortable, but, I think you got to find that sweet spot. And for me, it's definitely the late 70s, early 80s. God, there's Owen. He's walking Riley. He's literally way behind walking Riley. Watch this, watch this. On! Keep filming. The essential thing is that when you're interrupted doing a YouTube video about classic cars by a teenager that has no knowledge about anything, what you do is you be the bigger man and you enjoy the moment for a few minutes, even though sunrise is coming and our camera's at 10%. Look at the color of this dog. If you can zoom in here, it just really reminds me of a vinyl top. Build quality. Yes. Let's talk about the use of steel, chrome, and just classic. Chrome bumpers, reinforced steel, iron on some of them even, like iron on some of them, as a matter of fact. And just the overall build structure and quality. Vinyl tops that lasted if you took care of them. Velour that was just so plush and soft and just enjoyable for your bum to sit on. What more do you need? Rubber hoses that don't just run out and just crack in half, fuel spilling all over the place. Classic. And you know what? They last. They last 40 years, 50 years even. There's so many original parts on our olds even. Just coming out 40 years old. Oh my God. You look at a classic American V8 push rod, timing chain is right there. 2 sprockets. What a joke. We were just talking about, because we have the 3.5 liter EcoBoost dual overhead cam. What a disaster to change the timing chain on one of those. I mean, you have to pay someone thousands of dollars, or just really have patience and time and money. Or, a nice push rod V8, you get a nice cloys or whatever you guys prefer to do, and you do it in your garage. I mean, the reality is that classic favors enthusiasts and people that actually like to save the environment, because classic car enthusiasts reuse. Now, anyhow, a finely tuned Quadrajet, Rochester Quadrajet, or even like a Holly or like an Edelbrock, all of those finely tuned chokes, they start up no problem, minus 20 plus 100 degrees. It really doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It's all about the tuning, and it's all about, how knowledgeable are you? Can you actually do research if you're not aware? Do you have someone to consult to do this for you? Because you rebuild a carburetor for like $200, $100 worth of gaskets yourself, or you spend someone to do it, pay someone $200-300, done. I mean, what a joke. To get a new fuel injector is like, what, $200-300 for one. So, and then you got to get 8 of them or 4 of them or 6 of them or whatever you have going. So that's also affordability. Coil packs, which is, plastic, and they run out, and, it's just wires. So much more simplicity. The build quality was just far better. 307, which was, it came out in 1980, but even 455 Rocket V8 olds, solid motor. 350, even the 403, which no one really talks about. I think the 403 is a good motor. 305 Chevy, 350 small block Chevy. I mean, this is just a joke and a half. 302 Ford. Yeah, there's just so many motors that we could sit here naming all day that have lasted well over hundreds of thousands of kilometers or miles. And, who can say that? Our old 98, I can tell you the odometer has rolled over many times. One more thing I want to point on for the mechanics part of it is that, take a look at the bulk of motors from like 1950 all the way to 1990 even, right? The bulk of American motors, V8s, even V6s. There's no turbos. There's no huge blowers and superchargers that make a ridiculous amount of power that just blow head gaskets right to the moon. There's no lifters that are just going to snap in half. There's no camshafts that just you drop them on the ground and they just shatter. The main idea is that they're naturally aspirated motors. There's no forced induction. High compression, 10-1, fine. Let it be high compression, but it's naturally aspirated and it lasts longer, and they're not over-tuned. They're tuned for longevity. Sure, 150, 200 horsepower, even 300 horsepower, and everyone just complains. All the new guys, the modern guys, I should say. I'm a new guy, but I'm not a modern guy. But all the modern, folks out there, they're always like, oh yeah, but buddy, I tune my car, I get 600 horsepower, plug and play. Okay, that's fine. But, upgrade my internals, camshaft, lifters, all that other stuff, and I can really beef it up too. You know what I mean? And I can make a crap ton of power. I can put a huge blower, stack it on 2 carbs, and we can, then we'll line up. I'll call Mickey Thompson. We'll get some stickies on the back, then we'll line up, Bump up the rear end to like a 410, and I'll just smoke you, and I'll show you what classic is all about. But it's not even about being fast, is what I'm trying to say, whether it's a daily driver or a hot rod. I mean, nowadays, every car is turbo for fuel efficiency. I mean, you want fuel efficiency? Slant 6, 2-barrel. This sounds insane in modern day, but it's really not. It's really not. And, even Owen knows what I'm saying, right? Like he really, there's just, even though he advocates for modernized technology, he knows deep down, he knows that a pushrod V8 is going to last a lifetime. It's going to last a lifetime. You're lucky we're in a public setting. It's going to last a lifetime. Mechanics-wise, I mean, you can run hotter plugs, colder plugs in terms of spark plugs. There's just so much to talk about. Displacement, so many options, so much to choose from. I'm sure you guys are aware. Drop in the comments what your favorite classic ride is, if you have one currently, and if you don't have one, which one would you like, daily driver, and which one would you build to be fast? Personally, I like to be unique. I don't like to just come in here and say 70 Chevelle, big block, done. No, my opinion, 72 Olds Cutlass 442, the W30 package. I like to keep it realistic. You know, look at something that's not popular when you're looking at classic cars. Mercury, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Pontiac without the Trans Am, but Pontiac. And if you like Cadillac and Lincoln for the boats, keep it going. If you like the big three, Chevy, Dodge, you know, Plymouth, all those nice ones, that's good too. I like GM. Anyways, just share your own opinion on it. One more thing I wanted to point out is that the size of classic cars, what is going on? Ryan, put up a photo. I saw this online somewhere, okay, and it was a 79 Lincoln in like a 79 Fiat, and you know, you could have fit like 18 Fiats in the trunk of the Lincoln. And you know, you look at modern days, a Mitsubishi, what's it called, Mirage? Yeah, the Mirage. What do you have, like 70 horsepower or something like that? You can't even sit down. I mean, I've sat on one. Your knees are like, and you're like, what is going on? I think I like big cars, and I feel much safer when I have 6 to 10 feet of runway in front of me and another 6 to 10 feet of runway behind me. That's just personal opinion. And you know, and all the room inside is just insanely ridiculous. Your legs, you know, you swing them back and forth. You go in the back seat. You lay down. You can live out of your Oldsmobile. You can live out of these cars. Can't live out of a Mitsubishi Mirage. Can't live out of a Corolla. Come on, this is a joke. And the other thing is, for those of you that are smokers, I've mentioned this in our first video, you can have a carton of cigarettes and, you know, ashtrays all over the place within reachability. You know, have a smoke, ash, 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 ash. Okay, I understand that smoking isn't a popular thing. I don't smoke, but what I'm saying is that if you are a smoker, you have that luxury to just ashtray, ashtray, ashtray. And the other thing is, you don't have many cup holders, but you know, who cares?
Light.
Yeah, like why would you want to drink soda? You just light. That's terrible. We do not condone smoking. What we do condone is classic. So that's basically it, everybody. You know where we're going to stand on this. Colors, chrome, radials, white walls, vinyl top, hideaway headlights, hideaway gas cap is what I call it. Big blocks, small blocks, push rods, inline sixes, 1 barrel, 2 barrel, 4 barrel, 6 packs, everything. Chrysler, Dodge, you know, amazing. Ford, Lincoln, top notch. GM, Oldsmobile, oh man. And you cannot go wrong with these vehicles at all. Pick one up, make sure the frame is in solid condition, and keep this hobby alive. I mean, come on, shit me. I mean, time is literally running out. Well, that's what they portrayed anyways on the media. I don't know, but don't go out and buy a Tesla. Go out, build a classic with your son, and just enjoy yourself, make memories, learn something new, and make some good sounds and smell gasoline.
Leave a comment, you know, like we actually want to know what you guys think. Like we want to have a discussion in the comments, you know, get to know you guys. We want to see like your perspective on our opinions, well, Chris's opinions. And yeah, just feel free to leave a comment. We'll definitely reply to you, and hopefully we can make some conversation, you know, get to know the community and other people that like classic cars like we do. And is there anything else you want to say, Owen?
Yeah, I got it. If this video gets 10 likes, we'll do another video.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely will.